Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaim here with some new information that dropped for Pokemon Sun and Moon today. We have the evolution of the starters. So first off, let's just go right into it. I know you see it on your screen. We have the evolution of Rowlet, Dartrix, and I love the name, Dartrix, the play on the word dart, obviously. I love the preppy, snobby look of this Pokemon, and honestly, just read what it has to say. Dartrix is extremely sensitive to other presences in the area, and can detect opponents behind it and throw feathers to strike them without even seeing them. This Pokemon conceals sharp-bladed feathers inside its wings, showing astounding precision as it sends them flying in attack. And it goes beyond propelling its blade quills in simple straight lines. It can even bend these feathers to change the trajectories. So I love that too. Again, it has to do with the whole dart thing. It can throw them out without even looking, apparently. And it's accurate. Revealing a certain snobbiness in its personality. You know, obviously you get that just from looking at it. And even from the video itself on youtube.com/Pokemon. If you guys didn't know, you can check it out there. Dartrix cares a great deal about its appearance, grooming its feathers in every spare moment. In truth, it's also a bit of a bird brain, with a tendency to bundle things up. Once it makes a mistake, it sometimes gets into a desperate struggle to gloss over the situation and ends up making a bigger mess than ever. At times, this Pokemon feels so bothered by its dirty or ruffled feathers that it can't focus on battle. When it loses its focus, it sometimes even retires from the battle on the spot. It's up to each trainer to help Dartrix overcome this troublesome stage. If this Pokemon is with a trainer who helps it through, its strength will grow hugely. Okay, so a few things about that real quick before we move on to the next Pokemon. It says it's up to each trainer to help Dartrix overcome this troublesome stage. So obviously stage, it kind of reminds me of, teens, how, we rebel. I'm not a teen anymore, but how we rebelled as we were growing up, right? And we all went through these awkward stages or did all these things, right? And I love how it says, overcome this troublesome stage. And if this Pokemon is with a trainer who helps it through, the strength will grow hugely. Now, I don't know if you guys know about the Chinese leaks. Actually, by now, you should know about the Chinese leaks. If you don't know about the Chinese leaks, I'm about to spoil you. So you can either click off the video or clip ahead to the next Pokemon. But we have what people are saying are the evolution, the final evolution of Rowlet. And it's this Archer right here. And I really do love the difference though between between this snobby owl and then this owl that just doesn't care, and it's just an archer in general. So it goes from like darts to archery. But I do love how this thing, used to care about how it looked, and then right here we have like all Robin Hood right here. I do want to note though that because the way this looks, and I don't know if you can see the, I think these are like the arrowheads or the darts under its feathers. If you actually look at the other one, it has them kind of right here. So I really do think that these starters are like definitely possible, especially just based on what we've seen. And I honestly do think that this is the final evolution of Rowlet. But I love the way this Pokemon looks. I love the snobby look of it, and obviously grass flying, retaining that. I do have some hope that the final evolution will be grass ground, just because they are ground owls, yeah. But I think that they'll definitely just retain grass flying, especially based on this. But here's hoping for the Archer in the back. So next up we have the evolution of Litten, and this is my favorite starter. Litten's actually my favorite starter. I'm picking Litten in my Sun and Moon playthrough, at least my first time anyway. We have Torracat, the fire cat Pokemon. The bell-like object attached at the base of Torracat's neck is a flame sac, an organ that can produce flames. Well, yeah. Torracat's emotions cause a rise in the organ's temperature, and when the organ spits flames, it rings with the high, clear sound of a bell. Torracat's attacks using the flames emitted from this bell. Torracat's mane serves as an excellent sensory organ, and it can sense what's going on around it, even in the dark. It can also detect the presence of hidden enemies, even in the dark. Ooh, I love how they made sure we knew that. I swear this thing is gonna be fire dark when it evolves. Okay, it's a black cat, and obviously it's fire. It has to be fire dark when it evolves. It has to be. I swear it's going to be fire dark when it evolves. And the evolution that I'm going to show you guys after, also the leak, still kind of leads me to believe that. But Torracat has great love for battle and will attack so relentlessly that its opponents lose the will to fight. That dude beats you down, and yet sometimes behaves like spoiled child, like spoiled child in front of trainers. Behaves like spoiled child, okay, like a spoiled child or like spoiled child in front of trainers or Pokemon with whom it has built a relationship of trust. The cat punch that this Pokemon can dish out with its strong forelegs is extremely powerful. It can bend iron bars and knock out large men with a single blow. Alright, so I don't know about you guys, but I actually like the evolution that was leaked for this, from the Chinese leaks. And honestly, I feel like that line right there, the cat punch, that it can sense what's going around even in the dark. I mean, obviously cats have, they can see in the dark. But the fact that it attacks relentlessly, that it has cat punch, that it's extremely powerful, can bend iron barbs and knock out large men with a single blow. And you see it right here. It's throwing what I'm assuming is a wrestler running around and like throwing this bar on Pikachu's head. Poor Pikachu going around. But I really do believe that this thing will also be the evolution. Obviously, this is just my opinion. You can state what you think down below. If you think I'm wrong, that's completely fine. This is what I think will happen. But I love the whole, you have, Litten obviously being like a stray cat, this being like a house cat. You have like the bell, and then it evolves into like a full-blown wrestler. And I think the bell turns into this belt as well. But I definitely do think that as this thing evolves, if it's not this, that's completely fine. But I definitely think that as it evolves, it'll become Fire Dark. And what I'm really hoping for is Fire Dark with fighting coverage, because I think Azumarill will definitely resist that because it's obviously water fairy. But on top of that, just Fire Dark fighting coverage, not being pursuit weak, being able to potentially have Sucker Punch. Fire is good stab, it helps it get through fairy types as well. Obviously fairies aren't weak to it unless you're like Klefki or something, but or Mawile, but that definitely helps you have that neutral hit versus them. And fighting, what I want fighting for is Pokemon like Heatran, but specifically Tyranitar, because not being pursuit weak means that you'll be able to take that on. And obviously Grass Flying, I mean, it has some uses. I feel like when people got Rowlet, they were talking about like Shaman Sky. Oh, but this is not Shaman Sky form. But Grass Flying defensively, not a big fan of it. Obviously weak to, I mean, I already talked about in the Rowlet video, but just some quick ones. Obviously Flying, Fire, Ice, and those are all very common in, in OU anyway. Obviously I don't know how the Sun and Moon meta will be, but Grass Flying, maybe, I don't know, we'll see what it can do with it. With Roost, we'll see what happens. But Fire Dark offensively can be really, really nice. Dark is just such a good stab. We don't know what Sun and Moon will do to the types, because obviously when we went from 5th gen to 6th gen, that's where we got the Steel nerf or the Dark buff or the Ghost buff, whatever you want to call it, whereas they were now neutral on Steel as opposed to being not very effective. So we don't know necessarily what will happen, but I would really love to see Fire Dark with some sort of fighting coverage. And the fact that this thing is like a wrestler definitely leads me to believe that I have something like superpower or close combat or some type of thing going around with it. And I really do think this is possible on this evolution, but that's what I want from it. Next up we have Brionne, I think that's how you say it, the evolution of Popplio, and it becoming from a circus animal to a pop star Pokemon. I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of this thing. I'm actually not the biggest fan of this thing. I mean, maybe it's because it's more, I feel like it's more gender specific for like the female Popplio, maybe. I don't know. I mean, obviously, do you wear what you want to wear, but I just do feel like it's so gender specific, especially with the final evolution that was leaked, but I'll show you guys that after. But Brionne learns its dances by imitating the other members of its colony. It sometimes even learns dances from humans. This Pokemon is a hard worker and pours itself into its efforts until it has memorized each dance. As it dances, Brionne creates balloon after balloon. Balloon after balloon. In battle, it first sends its opponent into disarray with its dancing and then slaps the balloons into the target, causing the balloons to explode and deal damage. That's a sick attack, okay? Nice water bombs going on. Brionne can dance in perfect time with others, even if they have only just met. On on moonlit nights, you can sometimes see throngs of Brionne dancing as one in perfect fluidity. Brionne always acts cheery and positive, even when it's feeling sad. This Pokemon doesn't allow its sorrow to show. I mean, that's not always that good. Don't bottle up the emotions. It's said that Brionne will only reveal a sad expression to a trainer or Pokemon whom it has opened its heart completely. Okay, that's fine. Reveal, open up to your people. But water has always been a great typing. offensively and defensively. Access to Scald, obviously resisting moves like Fire, being neutral to moves like Dragon. Obviously you're weak to Grass, Electric, yeah, but being able to resist opposing Water and resist Scald, but just Water in general has always been just a great typing offensively and defensively. And the final evolution that we were leaked, again, it just leads me more to believe it just the way it looks. I love how it becomes a potentially, you know, a circus actor to a dancer to a singer like a siren out here. But I really do want it to become Water Fairy, especially just based on this. This looks like it would be Water Fairy. I guess it could be Water Ice as well. But Water Fairy would be such great offensive and defensive typing as well. We already have Zoomer. We know what a Zoomer can switch into. We know it can switch into Fighting, Dark, Bug, etc. Things like that. Dragon immunity, obviously. And being resistant to water as well on top of that. But being able to just have water in general, that's just such great typing. And usually water types have some sort of ice type move, so that gives them some sort of coverage for grass types, obviously, and dragons on top of that. So again, on typing alone, I think the water starter is just best, especially if it becomes like Water Fairy, definitely. But the one I want most is obviously Fire Dark with fighting coverage. And I really do think that these leaked evolutions, I think they're true. I think they're honestly true. You can leave your thoughts down below. But it says slaps balloons into its target, causing the balloon to explode and deal damage. So maybe we'll have some sort of new move from that. Some sort of exploding balloon attack. But it is a pop star Pokemon. And I love how after it became a pop star, it became like a full-blown, you know, I guess pop star right here. Siren as well. But I really am hoping that it's Water Fairy. I would love to see that defensively and offensively. Great typing. And if it is Water Fairy, I can definitely see this Pokemon being a threat in, you know, even OU. Just Water Fairy in general. I think that would just automatically put that. Imagine my loading with Water Fairy. But next up, we have a few more things I want to cover. So there is a demo coming out for Pokemon Sun and Moon. Demo confirmed for October 18th, and that's sick because we actually get to play the game. And that's also sick for, I guess maybe I shouldn't be so hype about this, but I am definitely hype about this. The fact that data miners will be able to get into there, and even though I guess we'll be spoiled a bit, which I truthfully don't care about spoilers at all. If I'm being honest, being spoiled actually gets even more excited for when the actual stuff comes out. I was like, oh man, this is gonna happen? Yeah, I can't wait, I can't wait. That's just how I am, and that's how I've always been. But that means people will be able to get into the game, and hopefully, before we know it, we'll be able to play on Showdown with some of the new Pokemon before the game is even out, like how it was in Oras. You know how I did Enter Mega Ments? How's he done Enter Mega Mentis? Yes. But that's what I'm hoping for. But the main thing that we get from the demo is Ash-Greninja. And if any of you don't know about Ash-Greninja is Ash's Greninja. Wow, really? Yeah, Ash's Greninja from the anime that had like this bond with Ash that made it become super strong. And that's how it became this form. And it actually has a new ability called Battle Bond, and we'll talk about it after we read what it has to say. But Ash-Greninja has powered up thanks to the strength of its bonds with Ash. This is the form Greninja takes when it's gained new power due to the miraculous occurrence known as the Bond Phenomenon. This can be brought on by the bonds between people and Pokemon. It seems that it is only known to have occurred once several hundred years ago. Ash-Greninja's legs have been enchanted compared to an ordinary... Wow. Sorry about that. Ash-Greninja's leg strength has been enhanced compared to an ordinary Greninja, making it difficult to see because of the speed at which it can move. So right there, stop, right there. So that implies that Ash-Greninja is obviously going to be faster than regular Greninja. Greninja is fast, guys. I have to go on Pokemon Showdown for those maybe you don't know about Greninja. I don't want to talk about that just yet. I gotta go on Pokemon Showdown. I gotta show you guys Greninja's stats. Alright, so Greninja was always, a good Pokemon. And X and Y was a good Pokemon, had decent stats. And then in, obviously, in Oras, it got Protean, and we know what happened from there. But Greninja has great speed, base 122, which is 377 speed. For those of you guys that don't know, Tornadus is one of the fastest Pokemon in OU right now. Just outright, just without Mega Evolution. And that's 375. Greninja outsped that by 2 points. Obviously max EV'd. And had great special attack, base 103. Well, this is special attack. And obviously what pushed it overboard was a Protean, and that would give it the typing. So Greninja would be Ice type when it used Ice Beam, Water type when it used Scald or Hydro Pump really. Gunk Shot would make it Poison type, and that's what pushed it over the edge, obviously. So imagine this thing with more speed. I mean, let me see what I can do with this. Okay, it doesn't let me do that. But imagine a Pokemon even faster. Like, I'm talking about, I don't know how fast it would be, but Mega Lopunny would be, what, maybe one of the next jump points, probably. 405. So, imagine that Greninja just there, without having to use an item, without actually, you know, doing anything outside of that. But let's talk about it real quick. So, it takes its enemies out in a flash. It becomes able to make giant water shurikens on its back, and it can throw them in rapid succession. If you guys also didn't know, like I didn't really watch the anime too much this season, but it had like super water shurikens, and they'd be stronger. But Greninja that can become Ash-Greninja have an ability that no Pokemon has ever had before, Battle Bond. Battle Bond ability triggers this Pokemon's form change to Ash-Greninja after it causes an opponent's Pokemon to faint. When the battle ends, the Pokemon returns to its original Greninja form. This form is only for battles where it needs to break the limits. Now the thing is, where it needs to break the limits might make it seem like, oh, this might only be for special battles, but then it talks about how Battle Bond Greninja transforms after it causes a Pokemon to faint. So after it knocks out a Pokemon, which is definitely not hard for Greninja. Greninja has a great move pool, great stats in general, and obviously you might be thinking, oh, Greninja's banned right now, but you know, if Sun and Moon is going to come around, we're going to bring down Greninja. They're definitely going to bring down Greninja, so we'll be able to use it, especially without Protean. It'll still be a great Pokemon, just obviously not hit as hard, but this thing gets stronger. I don't know if you saw the trailer, but it like 2-hit KO'd some it 2-hit KO, what was it? Wasn't I think it was Rockruff maybe. Then it's weak to it, but like it's Water Shuriken. It looked strong. It was strong. So obviously this thing's gonna get stronger. It's gonna get faster as it goes. I'm assuming it's gonna get faster because it says it literally talks about its leg strength has been enhanced. So it's been modified. It's getting better. But I'm definitely excited to be using this thing. At least if it's not banned, I'll definitely be excited to be using this. I'm not sure. This will be obviously a specific one, so then you'll obviously have your Torrent and Protean Greninjas, but this one's going to have Battle Bond. So I'm excited to see what it actually does and how effective its ability actually is and what it changes its stats. And knocking out a Pokemon is easy for a Pokemon with this speed and its great move pool. Like I'm saying, you have Pokemon like Grass types go down to Ice Beam, Fairy types get smacked by Gunk Shot, and then you change and get Stat Boost. So I'm definitely excited to see how this Pokemon affects the meta and what it does. Next up, I want to talk about the two new things. First off, I want to talk about battling with other Pokemon players. And in Sun and Moon, they have a new feature called QR Rental Teams, and basically players will be able to publicly share their own teams to use battle teams designed by other players. And I actually love this. Not only does it promote other people's teams, and you know, I could do something with subs like, oh yeah, leave your teams down below, leave your QR codes down below, and I'll scan it and I'll use your teams. But it also helps people get familiar. Like a person like me, let's say I wanted to get into VGC. I'm definitely getting into VGC this year. I do VGC before, but I'm trying to be serious with VGC this year. And like, in order to better understand a popular team, like look at this team right here. Look at this team right here. With the Megas. Also, Megas are confirmed, by the way. If you guys didn't know, Megas are 100% confirmed in Sun and Moon. However, there's a few, things we got to talk about that as well. But Megas are definitely confirmed in Pokemon Sun and Moon. I don't know if we're getting any new Megas, but it talked about after. Yeah, they're obviously there. I mean, they were already confirmed before based on the Gardevoir and the dinosaur Pokemon. But public teams can be used by scanning in with the QR code. You can take part in link battles and certain rating battles using a battle team you've rented. And you may even be able to try battling using the Pokemon of extra players like the victors of the World Championship. And what I really love about this is it helps a person like me or like anybody that might not be able to actually like get their Pokemon or breed their Pokemon, that might not have the time for that, or not even hack their Pokemon if they want to do that too, who might not know how to do that or might not have any means of doing that. Just be familiar and battle with it. I mean, definitely Shonen does the exact same thing, but I'll be having this people's stats and specific copies of their Pokemon without them having to post anything. And I think it just promotes gameplay in general, like just playing in general and learning how to fight the team, learning what the team does, and that in itself will help you battle versus it and just help you in general learn VGC. So I really do like that about that. And we also have the rules for VGC this year. So double battle format is limited to Pokemon that appear in the Alola region Pokedex. Use of Mega Stones is not allowed. There will be no Megas in VGC 2017, and only Pokemon that can be obtainable in Pokemon Sun and Moon may be entered. I hope that Smeargle is not in that Pokedex, but there is no Pokemon. There are no Megas in VGC 2017, and I love how they showed the Megas actually in the trailer itself, and how they showed the new Drop of Draco. Okay, the new Draco Meteor. Excuse me, sorry. The new Draco Meteor animation. I loved it. I absolutely loved how it looks. I also loved how they showed like the most broken Megas. But yeah, really excited for that because that would be just fresh new meta, just straight up Sun and Moon Pokemon. Maybe some Alola forms or Alolan forms as well. We'll see how that does, but I'm really excited for this. It begins on Friday, November 18th. So actually, when the game drops, you'll be able to experience the rules. I'm assuming on the ladder, the battle spot ladder. But that's so sick, and I just love the new rules, and I'm very excited to be playing this, definitely. And there's also some features that they had. Let's go to Cerebi real quick, but that's some features. You can leave your Pokemon in a new system being introduced to battle time setting. Oh, a new system being introduced to the battle time setting. It's your time. When using this method of time counting, players, make sure you can see this, players will have a maximum of 6 seconds each turn to select the move or Pokemon, and they will also be awarded 10 minutes of your time. Under these rules, if a player runs out of their 10 minutes before the battle ends, that player loses the match. This means that your matches can be decided more quickly than in the past, allowing players to enjoy thrilling battles. So I guess they're trying to do something about timer stalling when it comes to that. So the battle time settings is your time, or like even when you're battling like casually with somebody. But that's pretty cool. And there's also some mini games that your Pokemon can pick up some items too, and obviously that's good for in-game and just getting items in general. But I'm so hyped for Sun and Moon, guys. The demo, the new information that we're supposed to be getting, actually the next time we're getting information is on the 14th, so we're getting information like that, and I'm definitely hyped. Honestly, I love the final evolutions that were leaked. I really do hope we get them. Some people don't like this. They're like, oh man, it's gonna be Fire Dark, or I don't like how this thing stands up on 2 legs. I'm hype. I don't care. Or Firefighting, excuse me. Oh, it's gonna be Firefighting. I don't even know why that'd be bad. Just because we had that in the past a bunch of times, like, it'd still be sick. It's good typing. It's not bad typing. But Fire Dark with fighting coverage is definitely what I am looking for, and that's what I'm most looking forward to. But hyped to play the demo. I'll definitely be playing on the channel. And yeah, you guys can leave your thoughts down below, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, friends. Also subscribe, I guess, that's also part of it. If you're not subbed, you can sub for more Sun and Moon. I'll definitely be playing through the game, doing playthroughs, Wi-Fi battles, Pokemon Showdown Lives, team analysis, Pokemon breakdowns, all that stuff. So yeah, later guys.